And good evening, Southeast Texas. Got the very latest as far as Tropical Storm Elsa. The good news is on this storm, it's not expected at this point to become a hurricane because of the interaction between it and the greater Antilles, the landmasses of Cuba, the Dominican Republic, and Haiti. And that is some good news there. But also, we think that this is going to be mainly off towards our east. Don't want to write this off by any stretch of the imagination. We're not doing that. But it does look like things are in our neck of the woods going to be in pretty good shape. Right now, the storm is a very small storm. That's the good news. But it is very quickly moving off to the west and northwest at almost 30 miles an hour. That's pretty unusual. It's not unheard of. The other thing is that there is very low shear in the Caribbean. Normally, this time of year, we should see shear of 30 to 40 knots, and just not seeing that. So this is going to be in an environment that will allow it to strengthen, but because of its proximity to Hispaniola and Cuba, that may limit its strengthening. If it stays away from those islands, then all bets are off. Otherwise, as you can see, not a big system, but one thing I want you to notice, more banding, and it is becoming more concentric, more circular in nature. So it is getting better organized. Winds are at 45 miles an hour, and it is heading towards Barbados, or at least the Windward Islands, over the next 12 to 18 hours, it looks like. Otherwise, the storm has a good consensus as far as the spaghetti modeling, that we have a really good idea. When you see the modeling very clustered in a straight line like that, it's a good consensus, and that means that we have good certainty that that will move along that track. After about 72 to 84 hours, you see the spread increasing across the Northwest Caribbean, and that means there's more certainty on exactly where this is going to go. Regardless, you see most of the tracks turning this on-off towards the north into the eastern Gulf of Mexico as we head on into Tuesday. So we'll put this into motion. High pressure to its north is keeping this moving on-off towards the west and northwest, but that high is going to weaken, and that'll allow it to turn off towards the north as we head on into late Monday and to Tuesday. Notice that the storm is less than hurricane status, but again, that's the hardest part of the forecast. So that's where we're at right now. Notice the cone of uncertainty nowhere near Louisiana or Texas at this point. So we're in this scenario looking pretty good at this point. There are tropical storm watches in effect for portions of the Dominican Republic and Haiti and Jamaica, obviously, and tropical storm warnings in effect for the Lesser Antilles. So that's the very latest. Let me start this over again. And just if you're just joining us, we are watching Tropical Storm Elsa. It's about 550 miles to the east of Barbados, moving very quickly off towards the west and northwest. It's because of high pressure north of this storm that is keeping it moving very quickly on off towards the west and northwest. And again, the spaghetti modeling very tightly clustered through about 72 hours, but the spread increases. That means that it could go anywhere between these 2 points, but the center line, and where most of the modeling takes it on into the eastern Gulf of Mexico as we head on into late Monday into Tuesday. So again, high pressure north of us, keeping it on, moving to the west. Then it weakens, and that allows the storm to come around the western flank of this high pressure system, the Bermuda High. So very fortunate that this is weakening for us. Not the best of news, obviously, for the eastern Gulf of Mexico, but at this point, it is not forecast to become a hurricane. Do we have any questions?
One that you just answered. What are the chances of it being a hurricane by the time it makes landfall?
Yeah, it looks pretty low. So again, that may change. The waters in the Gulf of Mexico may be conducive enough to allow it to strengthen right before making landfall, maybe late Tuesday at this time, the way things are looking. So I guess that's about it. We'll continue to monitor Tropical Storm Elsa as we head on into the weekend and into early next week. Thanks so much for joining us.